Welcome to All About You and For You, a space where identity, transformation, and creativity unfolds. I'm Neha, the host for the podcast, and today I'm joined by a remarkable guest, Alex Colard, with me. I want to start with your journey. If you can share a bit about, like, when did you all started, thinking about going into being an art and becoming an artist.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. So it started, you talked about watercolors,
Hmm.
aquarelle. Actually, my mother was making aquarelle when we went on vacation to the south of France. And my grandfather was a sculptor.
Mm-hmm.
So he was teaching me perspective when I was 8 years old. And I always had a very artistic family. And I was in a watercolor club when I was 10 years old. And I had my first exhibition at 11 years old with the commune in
Mm-hmm.
the small town of Cravanche, where
Mm-hmm.
I was living. And I had a press article in the local newspaper as the youngest exhibitor at 11 years old, and the oldest one was 82 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
it was the twist of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But then I continued in high school to learn art with the two options, 5 hours and 3 hours per week. So it was 8 hours per week for 3 years in high school. So, I got my um, high school diploma thanks to art. It was not thanks to mathematics, that's for sure, because,
Hmm.
numbers is not my forte.
Hmm.
But yes, I'm very grateful to have the opportunities
Hmm.
to work in the art world for so many years.
Hmm. So, starting with your journey right from uh, the place of art or where the legacy of art exists, I would say France. Uh, what was it like, uh, growing up in France, I would say?
Hmm.
And how do you feel when you compare it, uh, as an artist, your life in Sweden?
Yes, of course. By my point of view, I start with gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
That is always how I look at life in general. So everything that happened for a reason. You could call it, spirituality, or you could call it
Mm-hmm.
faith, but it is important for my mental stability to view the world in a positive way and
Mm-hmm.
um, with gratitude. So,
Mm-hmm.
the difference between France and Stockholm, um, I left France when I was 20 years old. So after high school, I went to live with my grandparents for 2 years in Lyon, the
Mm-hmm.
city of Lyon. And there I studied art. I did a mise à niveau en art appliqué, so applied art leveling.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a roof over my head, I had food on the table,
Mm-hmm.
so I was doing art, so it was a good time for sure. And then I moved to New York for 11 years, so from 22 to 33 years old. And then I moved to Stockholm from 33 years old in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And here I started my practice as a professional artist and art gallery.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
my experience here in Stockholm is as a business owner and a 100% artist.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so my question is, what brought you to Stockholm?
Yes, I have two versions, of course, the official version and the less official.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody loves to hear about the love story
Mm-hmm.
and how, I moved from America to Stockholm for love.
Okay,
And
wonderful.
so yes, this is the, beautiful story. And
Mm-hmm.
then there is the other story, of course, that my visa expired.
Mm-hmm.
in America, so I had to leave the country. And either I want to go back to live with my family in France, which is fine because we're in good terms, or I could try my chance in Sweden,
Mm-hmm.
following the new love. And it was fine as well. You know, it was a new country, a new adventure. So I thought, why not? Let's just jump and see what happens.
Hmm. When you were moving to Stockholm, I would say, did you face like, a bit of cultural shift, or it was comparatively easy for you? How do you see as an expat moving to Stockholm?
Of course, it is very different
Hmm.
from any other country that I visited. You know, I've been to India, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Singapore, I've been to Bali, and Sweden is the only place
Hmm.
where people don't scream on the streets, people don't run on the street, the cars are not honking at each other. So I feel that Stockholm is really a quiet place.
Hmm.
In Sweden, my experience is that people, you know, are very careful about the noise,
Hmm.
because it is like casting a spell as well,
Hmm.
the words that you say or the noise that you make in Sweden. So, from my point of view, I learned that um, because it was never in my mind before.
Hmm. And you really love this, the quietness, the peace that you see over here.
I do.
I agree on the same. I come from India,
Yeah.
so definitely. I mean, that has been completely different experience for me. I mean,
Mhm.
on this side, like people don't honk
No,
cars
they
actually,
don't.
and that is like in India, you just can't wait for like 2 minutes. You are late, and you can see people honking. So, this is really, I mean, beautiful. I would say
Mm.
to see this, like that kind of sense here, or how the society is being structured from that way. So. Hmm. Okay, so I wanted to understand your journey of becoming an artist. And as you have mentioned, like you were never into numbers,
Mhm.
and you had, from the childhood, like you wanted to do something like this. So, was it like because of, a kind of your grandfather has also been a sculptor? So, was it something coming from your roots that was, into you as a growing kid?
Um, you know, at some point, I think I really focused on art because it was an
Hmm.
escape from my, you know, family dynamic. And, you know, my mother passed away when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
So then I really, it was an escape. So I remember going in the woods with my bicycle and my watercolors to paint. And, you know, I came home and, you know, I had my father and my brother at home, very masculine environment.
Mm.
And I escaped with art that is more feminine, I would say. So I needed it. I
Mm.
was missing it.
Mm.
So, yes, you know, it is what my identity became. And then I needed to do it. I needed to
Mm.
paint, I needed to create,
Mm.
and I needed to dream of a better future.
Mm.
So that is what I did. And, you know, I did architecture in New York at Parsons, the new
Mm.
school,
Mm.
because my father told me, you know, you need a real job
Mm.
that can pay the bills, and being an artist cannot
Mm.
pay the bills. And
Mm.
so I thought, okay, let's just do architecture because it is like a global way of expressing my artistic creativity.
Mm.
With furniture, I could design, graphic design, fashion design, all together in interior design architecture. So, so I'm very grateful to have been able to study at Parsons and get my degree, my American degree. And it was the financial crash in 2008 9
Oh.
when I
Mm.
graduated. So
Hmm.
people were not getting hired in
Hmm.
America. But I still continued with art with a mannequin company, and I was doing the showroom, like an artistic director of the showroom of Goldsmiths mannequins. And yes, I had a good time, decorating and painting and
Hmm.
selling to clients like H&M and Macy's and Bloomingdale's, selling my art. So it was a good time still.
So, for how many years you have lived in America?
I lived there for 11 years, from
Okay.
2005 to 2017.
Okay.
So 11,
Mm.
12 years.
Mm.
So I can officially say I'm a New Yorker
Of course.
after 10 years.
Yeah. So, did you miss any time, like, going back to New York, or you feel Sweden is the place for you?
But I'm going there for my birthday in July.
Okay.
So I still have a lot of friends that
Mm.
pick me up at the airport and I can
Mm.
stay with them. And
Mm.
I am very happy to still have strong connections over
Mm.
there.
Mm.
And we will see in the future if it's possible to export my concept of Charity Art Expo or export my art on alexcolard.com on my website. So we will see what happens. I'm open.
Okay. Hmm. I have also read about your time in New York,
Mhm.
uh, when you were offered a modeling as a
Yes.
part of it. So, if you could share something about that as an experience, like how did it came? Because you were not into modeling during that time, and how was your experience of being a
Yes.
model?
Yes. It was, short
Mm.
experience, but I was discovered at a party. There is this movie, I forgot, but one of the apartments in the movie is featured, and I was there as a, I was working for H2L2. It's an architectural company, and they build bridges. For example, the Palm Island in Jumeirah in Dubai,
Okay. Mm.
the bridge. So I worked on this one, and I just broke up with someone, and I got really skinny.
Mm.
I stopped eating. I mean, I was eating, but very healthy and working out. And so then I was in model shape,
Oh,
size zero.
wonderful. And you like that? Being a
Yes.
model?
It
Okay.
was really nice because of the
Mm.
energy and the
Mm.
strength and the
Mm.
power.
Mm.
And then this photographer made a book for me
Mm.
of photographs. And then I applied for Boss Models Agency in New York, and I was accepted to be represented. And on September 17, 2006, I got my first modeling job, and they couldn't convert my visa from architecture to model.
Mm.
So I could not, the same day, my first fashion show at Bryant Park in New York that I booked by the designer, I was on the plane to go back to France.
Oh my God.
So
Bit
it
of
was,
heartbreaking, I would
yes, it
say.
was, but it
Mm.
was just
Mm.
a
Mm.
shift of
Mm.
career. It
Mm.
was not meant to happen,
Mm.
but at least I have good pictures about it.
Talking on the identity, how do you think your identity evolved, being an artist and living in Sweden? Mm.
Especially in my 30s.
Mhm.
So, I had always a very strong personality, and I always, yes, I lived my life by my rules,
Mm.
and because someone said once, I live my life as if I am writing my biography, my
Mm.
autobiography. So every decision I make, I envision it in the book when I'm 50 or 60 years old, and so that it's entertaining and fun. And when
Mhm.
I look back, I want to see in the book, yes, I did that, and I was not afraid, and I jumped, and okay, maybe I crashed, but at least I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So in my 30s in Stockholm, my behavior changed because I went to group therapy. So in 2021, 2020, okay, let me think. 2019, I started in November 21st, 2019, and then COVID happened in March 2020. But almost every day I was going to group therapy for 1 year, a year and a half, because it was a way for me to grow up as well and to connect with people around me, because life of an artist is sometimes lonely. And it was important for me to understand and to listen, because before, I had such strong fire inside of me to create and to change the world around me, that I sometimes didn't listen. So this transition was really important, because now people are more attracted to the projects I make and what I do, because I listen.
I've also read about, till today, right from 2017, you have exhibited like 33 exhibitions.
More than that.
More than that. Okay.
More than 46, I think.
Okay. Wonderful. So, what have these experiences, have taught you?
Yeah. Yes, of course. But I started in 2017 when I went to Skatteverket, the tax agency in Sweden, and I knocked on the door and I said, "Hello, would you like to take my money, please?" And they said, "Yes, of course, we will be happy to relieve you." And so I started my business, my company officially, and I had exhibition after exhibition. I was renting a gallery in the Gamla Stan, inviting people on Facebook, on Instagram, creating events. And I learned that it's just another one. It's just another exhibition. So this is after 46, events that I created. If something goes wrong, it's not a big deal. I still have 10 fingers. I still have 10 toes. It's not
Very satisfactory. You sound very spiritual.
Yeah.
Are
I
you?
Yes, I am. But since my mother passed away, I think I understood that life is precious and time is running out every day. So what I can do is be relaxed, be calm, and send positive vibes, and hopefully they come back so that I can survive as well. Because when I moved to Stockholm, I was couch surfing for 3 years. So I was basically homeless, but I had very good friends. So they let me stay for free on their couch or folding bed, like, camping bed with the metal rods. And there was a hole, like, just behind my back. And I lived there for 9 months. And it was, yes, life of an artist. That I came from nothing. Well, my family is middle class, but they cut me off at 26. So then I lived my own life and survived and built my company.
Okay. Now I want to talk about some of the questions on the artwork that you are doing today. Uh, so how would you describe your art, style and process?
Mhm. So I describe it as architectural, geometric, and large scale, 2 meter, 2 meter paintings. So it is very attractive to a certain type of potential customer that has a big house with big walls, a nice car, and that want to invest in something original. you know, sometimes the artists, they always say, oh, it's original. And my art teacher, when I was 16, he told me, just give up. Just don't even try to do something original because everything has been done before. So since then, my art practice, I try to create something original because of the new technology. So I use the computer to create a 3D model, and then I video project it on the canvas, and then I paint it. So it is about the Babylonian myth of creation, Enuma Elish, and it is the original text from 3500 before Christ. It predates the Bible, it predates all of the other texts, and it is in cuneiform, the writing. So it talks about the gods coming down from the heavens to help humankind with engineering, architecture, and different technologies.
So it's all of a combination of technology, 3D technology, together with, spiritualism coming into it.
Exactly.
Wonderful, wonderful. It also give traditional vibes in the work that you're mentioning.
Yes, it
Oh.
is important. I think it's like what was not Jules Verne's, but Da Vinci, when he had the monocle with the glass that he used as a tool to zoom in so he could paint smaller details. I think the computer and the 3D is a tool to achieve a different type of art, and it's like a recipe. In France, if you make crepes or something, you put eggs, you put flour, you put water. And with art is the same. You have the concept, you have the technology, and you have the paint. So it's a balance of percentage of which one has a bigger impact. And that's how I create something hopefully original. And I continue with different paints as well. Like the blackest black, the whitest white. So every decision makes it different from other artworks. So
Okay, now talking on the reflectory question. How do you think is a life of an artist?
Yes, you really need to work on it every day. Every day I wake up and I work on my art, and I work on my business, and I send emails, and I find new creative ways to find potential customers. Now I have 18 paintings available for sale of this concept, the Babylonian myth of creation. So I sold one a month ago to New York, actually. I sent it in the mail. And I still have 16 available. So the life of an artist, I can lose everything tomorrow. I am building my name, but if I don't have satisfied customers, or if I get bad reviews, or I could be cancelled, but it's not going to stop me from being who I am. Because you cannot cancel a person. I mean, of course you can, but it will not stop me from doing art. I will change my name, my art name, maybe, and start a new career with another name, but we'll see.
I always feel paintings have a way of telling some stories behind it. And definitely, when you start every work or every artwork that you do, there would be some message behind it that is coming out of that artwork or that piece of art. What do you want people or anybody visiting your art gallery to have that message or story behind that comes out from your work?
Hope.
Wow.
Yes,
Mm,
yes,
mm,
because my abstract, they talk about the gods
mm,
that were here in the past. So, it is connected to my mother once again.
mm,
That's why I created this series, because every time I traveled to Borobudur in Indonesia, or to
mm,
Mysore in India, or to Teotihuacan in Mexico, I light up a candle
mm,
in a church or in a religious place,
mm,
spiritual place for her,
mm,
as a way to remember her. And my paintings, I try to connect to the spiritual, because I want to understand if there is life after death.
mm,
So this is really the big question. And I think if I connect my art to the gods, maybe I will get an answer or little
mm,
hint
mm,
that everything is fine after we
mm,
die.
mm,
So someone who purchases my artwork, they can have a symbol that everything is fine after we
mm,
die, because we have been visited before
mm,
by different entities, and we are here today because we are still allowed to be here.
mm.
And this is important. It's gratitude and hope.
What inspires you in daily life in Sweden?
And what inspires me in daily life in Sweden? Um, let's see. Yes, by inspiring others.
Mhm.
That's what inspires me.
Mm,
I think it's important to show that, it is possible to be a professional artist if you
mm,
work on
mm,
your art for 8 years,
mm,
like myself. Um, and, there's a lot of kids that draw and they feel, excluded from
mm,
society, and they have
mm,
problems at home, and they have maybe a difficult parent, and they have a dramatic life story. And I want to show them that it's possible when you grow up to follow your dream and to escape with art and to
mm,
survive with art. I remember being in Barcelona, my bag was stolen, I had no money for 1 week,
mm,
and no hotel, no money, so I was on the street for 1 week, and I was selling my drawings.
mm,
So I had a pen and paper that I got from the bar, and then I was selling my drawings for 2 euros, drawing
mm,
people on the street and surviving and
mm,
eating, leftover foods from the garbage. And so it's possible to
mm. Survive.
to survive with art, and
Mm,
that is
mm,
inspiring for me
mm,
to just continue living my life
mm,
as an artist, because other people are looking. And I want to give a good example
mm,
of what it is to be a professional artist,
mm,
and especially with the expo, the Charity Art Expo. This is a good example as well that we can have an impact on the community, not just being a secluded artist that is
mm,
crying in his room, hugging his pillow at 13 years old, but it's also possible to be an artist on stage and helping others and proposing them to exhibit
mm,
for low price. And
mm,
it is, different types of art careers, and it's possible to have an impact on the community.
mm. Do you see with the new technologies that we see now every day coming up with the AI technologies, do you see it is in support for the artist, or it is something which will have a negative effect? Um, what do you
Yes.
think?
But like I said, with the glass and zooming
Mm,
in and
mm,
Da Vinci, I think it's a tool
mm,
that I use myself, because if you don't use it, you're going to be left behind. So this is the new standard. And, as a business owner, I need to adapt every day to new technologies or to new problems, and I need to fix solutions. And so AI is very important. I had ChatGPT for maybe a year now, and it has improved my life. I can go twice as fast. I can accomplish my ideas much faster. And yes, it is the new standard. It is crucial to use it.
And you really see this as a very positive for support of profession as well.
Yes, exactly. It's like having your own assistant. And I'm very happy that it exists.
When you look around, as a college pass out student, somebody coming out from an artist, and they see that as a career, do you think it is comparatively easy today to establish into being an artist, or do you see it still cannot be a mainstream career for everybody today?
I think with social media, of course, it's easier. For example, I use Facebook and Instagram ads, sponsored ads. So, this was not possible in 2005, before the iPhone. So, I think it is a little bit easier, but people are still people. If you cannot sell art, it's difficult.
Okay. Now I have a question on inspiration. A city that inspires you as an artist, other than Sweden and France, what would be, any other city, like country, that inspires you?
I really loved Bali in Indonesia. That was I went there in 2008 with my father, and it was a wonderful time, and I really connected with the arts and crafts over there, and the philosophy of life, and I love the temples and the ruins with the nature growing on it, and I love the music, and I love the costumes, and so this is one of my dreams in the future. If I sell enough art to purchase a piece of land in Bali, and then to build a resort on top of it. So my ultimate dream, if you reach for the sun, you end up on the moon. For me, when I'm 50 years old, in 10, 15 years, hopefully I can build a resort so I can invite all my friends like yourself to visit and to have a good time in Bali. And then I can continue to paint and retire. Well, you never retire from being an artist, but hopefully I will have a place in a warm location, so I can, have good days to end my life.
So when you work on any of the creation that you do, of course you might also have sleepless nights.
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Because, it is important for me to try to keep it 9 to 5.
Okay.
To have a very structured lifestyle. I'm 39 years old. I'm not 21 anymore. So the sleepless nights, it doesn't happen. I'm happy to go home and to my loved one, and then just, I'm in bed at 11, and then I wake up at 5:30, and then I work, and I send some emails, and sometimes I do a line drawing at home.
So you keep a good balance of your personal life and professional life.
That's what I learned with the exhibitions as well. Before, maybe the first 10, I was always doing last minute. I'm gonna have a new painting I'm going to show. And now it's not worth it because my health come first, my mental health, my physical health. So nothing is more important than sleep.
Okay. Hmm. Now I have a quick fire questions,
Mm-hmm.
and so I have some interesting questions for you, Alex. Uh, One artist you would love to collaborate with.
Wow, good question. Actually, I would say Frank Gehry
Okay.
because he's one of my inspiration for this collection. So Frank Gehry, he's in New York and he has passed as an architect and he does public sculptures, big ones, and it resembles, so my geometrical shapes resembles his because I was inspired. And yes, because he's a big name in the art world, and it would be nice to collaborate with him and maybe meet, his gallery or art agent, or I'm looking for representation, someone who can help me sell my art.
Okay.
So that is why.
Your favorite place to paint or recharge in Stockholm?
Place to paint in Stockholm. I would say, let's see. There is this little island that is across from Östermalm. You take the bridge and you have the ABBA Museum.
Yes.
And you have, yes, so this island, I've always forget the name.
A color that defines your current mood.
Black, always black, because it is chic. It is the uniform of an artist, I think. So black, you can go anywhere, to a black tie event or to a morning event. If you're wearing black, I think it's always chic. You can never go wrong.
What's one message you hope your artwork always communicate?
The message, yes, it is similar, but that it is always evolving as well. So art is a slice of the present moment. So, there's political events happening in the world, there is the personal life, and everything has an influence on the art. So it is important to allow myself to go out of the bubble. So, as an artist, I had 46 collections. Every exhibition was a different collection. I did the animals, I did the boats, I did landscapes, I did abstract. So each exhibition was to try something new, to find my style. So I think it's important for artists and myself to fail. To fail again and again and again, so that we can correct the course and we can find our style. So I did, acrylic, I did oil, I did computer, I did so many different techniques, pastels. And
so you keep on challenging yourself.
Yes, exactly.
So whenever you start on your, inspiration, so where do you draw your inspiration from? Or where do you look for that inspiration?
Yes. The ancient texts, and then also networking. Networking is a big part of my life as well, because I created BNI Internationals, BNI Internationals.
Yes.
So it is the only English-speaking chapter in Sweden. I know it's very famous in India, BNI, Business Network International. So I am very grateful to have members that teach me. their point of view, because we have someone from finance, we have someone from IT, we have someone from another profession. So this is great inspiration for me because it opens doors and opportunities that were not present before.
Okay.
So I love to go to networking events and yes, new technology and TikTok.
Oh. Okay.
That's
A city that inspires you outside Sweden.
I think I would choose New York.
New York.
Yes,
Okay.
because it is like a different country in America, and maybe it's nostalgia when I was there, but I still see it as the land of opportunities. You know, when I was 20 years old, I was there on an internship, and they gave me a store to design at 20 years old for Urban Outfitters. So I was with Pompeii AD, and in what world do you give a 20-year-old a store to design? Just in America. So that's why I still, look towards that part of the world, but I'm also open to Asia, and I see that China is becoming really strong and was always very strong, but now is more vocal about it on the scene, the news. So I would love to go to China. That would be fantastic. I'm very open to Asia in general. My stepfather is from Malaysia,
Okay.
so it is, the new world. So I would love to go there.
Do you want to say something of the artwork that you have, consolidated together in this, the book, I must say, The Art of Alex Colard. So, do you want to say something
Sure.
for the viewers and for people to, visit to the website and you view all the art pieces that you have, collected over there?
Yes, of course. So this book, I just received it last week, so it is very new. It is published on Amazon, and if you look for my name, Alex Colard, on Amazon, you will find this book in Amazon America, in Amazon Italy, in Amazon Sweden, Alex Colard, and then it is a collection of my paintings. So we have some press articles, publications, and then this one is 2 meters 60. So it is my biggest painting. The other one are 2 meters. So it is the Enuma Elish collection. And it is possible to ship them around the world, rolled. This is the one that I sold to New York, actually. So I sent it in the mail, in the post, rolled, and the buyer is stretching it in New York to put it in his apartment. And this is the blackest black. Anish Kapoor, he purchased the right of Vanta Black, the blackest black, but Stuart Semple in England created a similar type of paint that absorbs the light. So I play with glossiness and matte. So it is my second inspiration, Pierre Soulages, who paints with light. He's a French artist who just passed away. So, and then we have, so this book is wonderful if you're looking for new artworks to place in your house. And it is available on my website as well, alexcolard.com. But you can look for it on Amazon, Alex Colard.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Alex. Okay, so any last piece of advice for the newcomers who see their life in Sweden as an artist?
Contact me.
Mm.
I can help.
Mm.
With my event charityartexpo.com, we have 25 partners.
Okay.
So we have 9 art galleries
Mm.
that help artists to exhibit. We have a printing company, we have different partners, and if artists contact me, I can help them to sell their work as well,
Mhm.
because we have the charity art gallery. It is on Artsy, the website, artsy.net, with 2.3 million visitors per month. So I can help them sell their work
Mm.
because I learned how to do it by failing for so many years, but now
Mm.
I know how to do it.
Mm.
So yes, artists, just contact me and
Mm.
I will help you.
Mm. So, all the students and newcomers, you have a guru here. Please feel free to reach out to Alex Colard and have some inspiration of starting your life from right in the middle of the Stockholm. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Alex.
very much, Neha.
And it's very wonderful to hear from you your whole story, and it's lovely to see you here.
Thank you so much. It was great being here. I'm very grateful that you invited me. And yes, looking forward to the next step.
Thank you for sharing your journey with us. Until next time, keep exploring yourself through culture, art, and creativity. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast.